It's now time to bring on our next esteemed speaker. Today we need to applaud her for she has joined us this panel at a very short notice. In the words of Dr. Ralph Smedley, we learn best in the moments of enjoyment. Our next speaker will show us how. She joined Toastmasters in the year 2010 and is a champion who has represented District 105 in World Championship of Public Speaking. She is also a humorous speaker who has many feathers in her cap. She has recently started taking the stage as a stand-up comedian. And today she will share with us her tips on why humor is so important in our daily lives. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for the extremely tantalizing, talented, towering personality, distinguished Toastmaster Samira Khan, for her session, The Power of Humor.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this session. It's a bit impromptu, so I don't have any presentations. I hope that's okay. All right, so why humor is important? I tweaked it a bit to why humor is important in your speeches. All right. Well, why is humor important in your speeches? If you can give me some ideas on the chat box, why you think humor is important in your speeches. Let's start with that. For me, humor is important because I think it will keep your audience engaged. Yes, connect to the audience. Very well done. It breaks the ice. Yes, exactly. Attention. It keeps your audience in your palm throughout your speech. If you have some sprinkles of humor throughout your speech, all right? It engages, it keeps the audience alive, it livens up your speech, it lightens up your speech, plenty of reasons. But the number one reason, according to me, is the world is already way too serious. All right, why should we add to all the seriousness that's happening around? Let's lighten up, let's liven up. And let's do that through our speech, not only in our crafted speeches that we present in front of the others, even in our own lives. All right, so today I will be sharing with you 3 simple techniques in which you can induce humor, even in your Toastmaster speeches. Yeah, too much seriousness is killing Toastmaster Hamza. Yes. 3 techniques that I will be sharing with you is the first one, self-deprecating. Why self-deprecating? Let's hear from you. Why do you think you should put yourself down in front of people? What does that tell you about your personality? Yes, makes you more humble. Okay. And it won't hurt others. It won't hurt. It makes you more human. Exactly. It makes you more human, a very likable person. All right. Now, I am very good at self-deprecating jokes because I'm a very negative person. Negativity runs in my family. I'm so negative that the only thing positive about me is my blood group. All right. Now, I want you to think about your own personality. What annoys people about you? Or what are you bad at? Let's hear some things, some self-deprecating jokes about yourself on the chat box. I don't know if the chats are accessible to all so that everybody can have a good laugh. Your laugh is too loud. Mine or yours, Robert? I speak a lot on my ex. Donkeys sing better than me. Fantastic. I'm a social outcast because I'm a mix of 2 countries. Beautiful. You are bald. Oh my goodness. My hairline is like a notch display of Apple phone. I make a joke, but I have to tell that I made a joke. Wow, good one, good one. All right, see, making fun of yourself is easy. I forget so much that I'm lucky to even remember my name. Good one, good one. I'm too serious that people get shocked when I joke. Good one, Khulud. All right, so you see, self-deprecating jokes are easy. Just look at yourself. your own personality, and you can come up with jokes. All right. Now, the second one is called twist. Twist. Married people will agree with me. Our life is so full of twist. I have been married for 13 years. Yes, I have been in love with the same man for the last 13 years. If my husband ever finds out, he's going to kill me. That's an example of a twist. Okay. Now, my family is also very conservative. I met my husband in a very traditional way, indiamatrimony.com. That's another example. Now, I want you to complete this line of twist for me on the chat box. Okay. He is so clever. You have to complete that with a twist. He is so clever. He is so clever to marry me. He is so clever that even he cannot understand what he says. He's so clever, he made me clever. He is so clever, but he's not my husband. Wow. You see that? The second part of the statement is unpredictable by the audience. That makes the humor effective. The unpredictable, the unexpected part of the twist makes the humor great. Now, humor can, the twist can also be of multiple parts. Okay. Now, happiness is having a large, loving family on the other side of the city. You see, there were two parts in that twist. It can have three parts as well, three-part twist. For example, the ring was beyond sparkling, beyond brilliant, beyond my budget. That's a three-part twist. Okay. Now, he's so clever that he can fool anybody. Good one. Good one, everyone. Thank you for attempting. So that's my second technique for you. The first one was self-deprecating. The second one was twist. Okay. The third one is something that we all love in our tall tale contest, and that is exaggeration. What is exaggeration? Blowing things out of proportion. In UAE, it gets so hot during July and August, egg can become a boiled egg. All right, even hens lay hard-boiled eggs. Those are your exaggeration. All right, I can see the twists are still continuing. Thank you, DTMGG. All right, the couple, this is exaggeration now, okay? Even cars are melting yet. It gets so hot that even cars are melting, yes. I want you to complete this exaggeration for me. His house was so huge. Complete the second part. His house was so huge. Complete the second part with an exaggeration. His house was so huge, the world could fit in. All the city fits in. We can take a tour in COVID-19. Wow, he can't afford to keep it clean. Even a dinosaur can fit in. He needs to catch a flight to go from one room to the other. His house was bigger than his ego. My goodness, look at, you guys are already pro at this. His house is so big, he can't pay the tax. Good one. His house was so big, he keeps ship in his bathroom. His house was so big that even cars drove inside. He has to take the government's permission to move around. Look at you all going at it. Amazing. His heart was bigger than his house. Ooh, good one. He needs Google Map inside. All the Toastmasters could fit in. Great, great. Okay. His IQ was so less. This is the second one. His IQ was so less. His house was so huge that it had its own zip code. Good one. His IQ was so less. It needed a microscope. His IQ was so less that the letter I was missing in the IQ. We need to give him IQ drips. Oh my God, this is massive. I need a bigger screen to look at all what you guys are writing. His IQ was so less that for him 1 plus 1 was 11. His IQ was so less that he forgot his wife's name. Brilliant, brilliant. Okay, now the couple were so thin. I really hope this chat is, everybody is able to see this chat. Moderator, if you can open up, that will be great, because it's wonderful what everybody is writing. His IQ was so less that he couldn't figure out what the Q stands for. All right, the last one, what I said, the couple were so thin. I have one more for you to complete the self-deprecating joke. Yeah, one more. Even rats could outsmart him. Oh my God. The couple were so thin that they always flew when the wind blew. The couple were so thin that the Dubai sandstorm would blow them away. Brilliant. Okay, the last one is a self-deprecating joke. Okay, I have such a bad memory that many of us here have bad memories. I am master at it. In fact, I was entrusted with planning my own surprise birthday party. That's a self-deprecating joke, but not that it's so bad, but it's an exaggerated self-deprecating joke. I have such a bad memory. Go on, folks. I don't remember what I ate. Okay, I can't remember when I was born. Who am I? I forget my wife's birthday. I leave important things. The only thing I remember is that I have a bad memory. Great. So I forget my key at home. Wow, wow, wow. You guys are awesome. Okay, so the 3 simple techniques that we learned today is self-deprecating, twists, and exaggeration. Okay, now the last thing I want to share with you is some do's and don'ts about humor. The first thing is, if you don't find it funny, the chances are the audience will not. Don't induce humor in your speech just because someone else found it funny, someone told you so. So make sure you have humor in your speech that you find funny. The jokes are still coming in. It's amazing. I opened the lunchbox to find where I am in the office. Good one, good one. Okay, so the first one, if you don't find it funny, the audience will not find it funny. Okay, the second one, keep it simple and short. KISS concept. Okay, you see, long, complicated stories and unfamiliar words in your anecdotes, it will kill the humor. Okay, the KISS concept, keep it short and simple. Now, how you can add humor to your speech? First, finish your script and then see where you can add your humor. That's one way to go about it. Now, rehearse your lines very well. The outcome of your humor depends upon how smoothly you're able to deliver it, right? Like DTM Muhammad Murad has already mentioned, practice, practice, practice. That's the best way to make your humor effective. Don't give it away. Okay, just before you crack your joke, don't be like, okay, let me tell you a joke. Let me tell you a funny story. That kills the humor. Give away the punch and you will see the result in front of you. And most importantly, believe in your script. Believe in your joke. If you believe in it, it will work for sure. Eye contact. When you are giving out your punchline, look into the eyes of the audience. That is very effective to make your humor work. And finally, a very, very important thing, attempt it. Attempt it fearlessly, be self-confident, have that self-esteem. You know, like again, Ditya Muhammad Murad has mentioned, perseverance and persistence. Don't give up, attempt it. That is the best way you can find out. I absolutely did not know that I could make people laugh until 10 years ago when I attempted my first speech in humorous contest. And I was really amazed that people actually laughed at my joke. So you will never know until and unless you try. Okay. And finally, after you try all this, if nothing happens, if the audience don't laugh, it's fine. Continue as if nothing happened, because no story, there is no guarantee that it will work. It's fine. But the most important thing is to try it, attempt it. Only then you will know. I hope you enjoyed the session. This was very impromptu. I hope you had some valuable takeaways. Over to you, Nimi. Thank you so much.